When did being alone become the modern-day equivalent of being a leper? Will Manhattan restaurants soon be divided up into sections, smoking, non-smoking, single, non-single?
I think because Carrie is the voice, the whole show is her point of view, and so it's the person that I'm most intimate with, and therefore I know best, and I think that's who I relate to most. I think also the other types are very specifically and beautifully archetypes. You know, Kristen's character is the hopeful romantic, and Cynthia's is the caustic and pragmatic and cautious, sometimes cynical one, and then Kim's is the comfortable with the sexuality, let your freak flag fly diva, and those are very specific, and I think Carrie sort of gets to be all those things, and because it is her point of view, it has a little bit of a pulse that I relate to. But I love all the women on the show, and Carrie can't be interesting without those three friends.
The only place you can control a man is in bed. If we perpetually gave men jobs, we could run the world.
My character is so much fun to dress and to play. I'm just having the time of my life playing her, and I've always been very joyous about being female, and I've always celebrated it, and I've never really found a character that is enjoying her sexuality this much without paying a price, because usually there is a price to pay. She's successful in her life, and she has these great friends around her, and she's just really enjoying her independence, and she doesn't really have to compromise, and I think that that's a new kind of woman in the scene, and I think it's more of a woman that we're going to see in the new millennium.
I've been dating since I was 15. I'm exhausted. Where is he? Charlotte is a traditional girl, and Charlotte wants to get married, and Charlotte started the show this year just on a beeline for the right man, and then she meets Kyle MacLachlan's character Trey, and he is perfect as far as we can tell, and she's very focused.
Maybe it's time I stop being so angry.
Yeah, but what would you do with all your free time?
She was always kind of the bitter one, the one with the sharp tongue, the one ready for a fight, volatile temper, and I think all that's still true, but I think the writers have taken great care to show kind of the underside, the ways in which she's vulnerable and insecure, and I think that that helps balance the other out a lot. It makes her much more of a well-rounded person than just sort of an angry kind of stereotype.
It's hard to find people who will love you no matter what. I was lucky enough to find 3 of them.
That is the core of the show. We might have our disagreements, and this year some conflict arises, but it's not about men. It's more about our relationships and our characters and the things that annoy us about each other, just like real girlfriends. And I think that there's not enough of that in film and TV. It's always about the man and the woman, and my life is largely about my girlfriends, so it's important. The women on our show are like family. We are each other's family, and when something goes wrong, that's who we go to, and it doesn't matter if we've had a conflict, we're always going to go back to that, and I like that.
I really understand how we would be drawn together, these 4 characters. We're all so different, and we all have the same goal, and that's to be whole, you know, to be content with who we are and also find someone to share our lives with, other than, you know, the other 3. I think it's a universal theme that women and men are looking for, and that's why it's really struck a chord.
Hopefully it makes single and dating life seem complicated and frustrating and exciting and thrilling and really all the things that I think dating in an urban life is. But I think it's very sad too, and it's lonely, and it's a city that can be hard to meet people, and like any city. And I hope it's all the colors that being single is, not just one point of view.
I think there's a sort of lot of woman power going on the set, and that feels, you know, kind of nice. There's a real sisterhood going on, I think, both in front of the camera and also behind the scenes, the women who help create the show. I mean, I think some of the guys who come on the show sometimes as guest stars, they're not quite sure where to step, if they're kind of stepping into a women's world, but we try and make them feel really welcome. But yeah, it does feel pretty good, I have to say.